Hello and welcome. Okay, so are you worried about the possibility of OSHA showing up at your front door for a surprise inspection and not really sure how to prepare for that possibility? If so, don't worry because I'm going to share with you everything you need to know about the OSHA enforcement process and more importantly, how to get prepared so that you can pass any inspection and stay out of trouble. But before getting into that, if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload new content 2 to 3 times per month that'll cover all the environmental health and safety issues that impact small manufacturing and industrial companies. All right, just to let you know, I've helped many small manufacturing companies navigate the entire OSHA enforcement process from that initial inspection to helping them fix the violations and even helping them to fight back to get fines thrown out and citations thrown out. And I've created this new series of videos to share with you everything that I've learned throughout those experiences. In full disclosure, before starting this safety consulting company, one of my past companies was actually inspected and cited by OSHA, so I know exactly what that feels like. All right, so let's get started. So as I mentioned previously, this is a series of videos that are going to cover all the areas of OSHA enforcement that you need to be aware of, and again, to help you get prepared for the possibility of an inspection and have the confidence that you'll actually pass it and stay out of trouble. All right, so here are the 9 areas, the 9 topics that we're going to cover in this series that will come later. All right, so the first video in the series is going to cover OSHA citations and fines. So there are actually 6 different types of citations out there, ranging from what are called de minimis, that are really just administrative citations that don't have any fines associated with them, all the way up to much more severe either willful or repeat violations that carry maximum fines all the way up to $145,000 each. And then we're going to have a video that talks about how much an OSHA inspection could end up costing you. So in our experience, the average OSHA inspection of a small manufacturing or industrial company is going to range anywhere between $35,000 and $90,000 per inspection. But in a lot of cases, they can actually exceed $100,000, $200,000, or even more. And that video is going to go into much more detail about why that's the case and how those citations and fines can add up so quickly. And then we're going to talk about OSHA criminal liability. And this is a really important one because a lot of business owners don't understand that they could face potential criminal liability, including jail time and fines up to $500,000 if an employee is killed due to negligence over safety. And so you'll definitely want to come back and check that one out. And then we're going to talk about what can actually trigger an OSHA inspection. And there's all kinds of different triggers that can result in an inspection. That includes, having a serious injury, God forbid, a fatality, having high injury rates, or an employee complaint. And employee complaints are actually the #1 trigger for OSHA inspection. So it's important to understand that. And then we're going to have a video that talks about how to prepare for an OSHA inspection. So you've got to have that procedure and that playbook ready, before they show up in the lobby. Otherwise, it's going to be, a mess. You want to be prepared for that, and that video is going to talk about how to do that. But also keep in mind that, there's no shortcut. The best preparation for any OSHA inspection is to have a fully functioning OSHA compliance program that addresses all the standards and the laws that apply to your company. Without having that fully functioning safety program, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough, to prepare for and pass that OSHA inspection. So I just want to give you a little preview there. There's no way around it. There's no shortcuts. Then we're going to have a video that talks about how to actually manage an OSHA inspection. So you get the call from the lobby that the inspector is there. You want to refer back to that playbook that I talked about before in preparation. You want to have everything ready. You want to have all your documents ready. You want to have your safety team ready to answer questions. You don't want to tell them any more than you have to. They're going to ask a lot of things. You just want to answer as succinctly as possible without going on and maybe exposing you to more liability and so forth. So there's a lot that goes into properly managing an OSHA inspection, and we'll go into great detail about that. And then, believe it or not, we're going to have a video that talks about what happens after an OSHA inspection. So when the OSHA inspection ends, there's going to be a closing conference. That inspector is going to tell you what they think is going to be cited. Once that happens, you have to begin to take action. You have to start fixing things And also be aware that they have up to 6 months to actually issue any citations. So you want to be on the lookout for that letter, because once that letter arrives, the clock starts ticking. You're going to have 2 weeks to fix everything. Otherwise, you're going to face even more penalties. So there's a lot to do even after the OSHA inspection. It's not over. Once the inspection ends, that doesn't mean the enforcement process is over. Unfortunately, that is far from the truth. And before telling you about the other videos, real quickly, if you've ever been through an OSHA inspection, have been cited or maybe avoided citations, feel free to leave comments below, share your experiences. I'd love to hear from you. I think other viewers would too, and I promise to respond to any comments that you leave, or even post any questions that you want to have answered about this topic, and I'll be happy to answer that too. Again, I'd love to hear from you, so please feel free to post below. And then we're going to have a really interesting video that's going to talk about whether or not you should hire a lawyer to deal with citations. And this one's going to be interesting. We've seen some clients hire lawyers. I have my opinions about how effective they can be. Under what circumstances it's a good idea, under what circumstances I think it's not necessarily a good idea or not needed. So that's going to be a really interesting video that you want to come back and check out. And then we're going to wrap up the series with a video that talks about the most common violations and citations that result from an inspection of a small manufacturing or industrial company. So I'm going to talk about the most common citations around lockout, tagout, hazard communication, respiratory protection, hearing conservation, emergency action plan and board, to give you a preview of some of those common violations. All right, so we've covered a lot of information here, so let me begin to wrap up by saying a couple more things. First of all, if you're not sure that you're prepared for an OSHA inspection, or maybe you know that you're not prepared for an OSHA inspection, as I alluded to earlier, the best defense is to have a fully functioning OSHA compliance program, specifically designed for your manufacturing or industrial companies. If that's the case, I have the perfect free resource for you. So go below the video here, and I'm going to have a link to our free ebook, which is called How to Build a Manufacturing Safety Program from Scratch. And it's designed obviously for manufacturing companies, but also industrial companies that have similar requirements. It's written in very simple language that non-experts can easily understand and follow. It's a great guide. It's a great resource. It's free. Click on that link. You'll get instant access. I invite you to grab that. I think it'll be a lot of help for you. And it'll really help you prepare for that possibility. There's no shortcuts to having a fully functioning safety program. All right, with that said, make sure to check out the next video in the series, which is going to talk again about all the most common citation types and the fines that go along with it. Again, if you like what you learned today, please make sure, if you haven't already, to go ahead and subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified every time that I upload new content, which again will be 2 to 3 times per month. It's going to cover all the environmental health and safety issues that impact small manufacturing and industrial companies. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.